Thank you, Mina, and good morning, everyone. I'm hoping my internet holds up. It is being cranky. Our opening words this morning come from the members of our 5th, 6th, and 7th grade group who several weeks ago worked with the slam poet and performance artist Reggie O'Hare Gibson and explored healing and what harms us and what heals us. And so they talked about what causes us pain and what can bring us healing. Pain caused by ingratitude, greed, distrust, ignorance, and many other elements as well. And what helps us to heal? Trust, support, patience, love, music, happiness, family, hope. The thoughts from our own youth, which will guide us forward this morning. And now we welcome Lila Bailey and Sho Okamoto for our welcome and opening.
Good morning and welcome to First Parish in Bedford. Whether you have come from near or far to be with us, we are so glad you are here. I'm Sho Okamoto, a member of 5th grade faith development class here at First Parish.
And I'm Lila Bailey, also in the 5th grade class. Newcomers in our community can always click the Contact Us link on our webpage and receive a personal follow-up from a member of our staff, so welcome.
Following today's service, we hope you will stick around and join us for some conversation and sharing of what's going on in your lives. Bring your own coffee. Now for a few announcements. The COVID-19 testing that Dr. Ann Kiesling have been conducting at First Parish will resume on Tuesday, December 1st, 10:30 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. You need to register ahead of time through the link of the First Parish website. If you need more information, please send a note in the chat here on Zoom to Reverend John Givens and he will respond.
Also, we were going to have a Lyceum presentation today at 2 p.m., but our presenter is not feeling well, so we were going to have it sometime in the future. Stay tuned for that. We are also holding a drop-in Zoom Thanksgiving celebration on Thursday, hosted by Annie Gonzalez-Milligan and Deb Weiner from 2 to 4 p.m. There will be a conversation, sharing of memories and recipes, and some games too. Come and join us.
Once more, thank you for joining us today and welcome to you all.
And now we welcome Taylor Nichols, who will lead us in our unison affirmation in English and then in Spanish. Taylor.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in our unison affirmation, first in English and then in Spanish. Love is the spirit of this church and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to our youth who helped with the announcements and welcome and unison affirmation today. As you can tell, we are celebrating a multi-generational worship service this morning, and we're really grateful for all the participants. So I'm going to tell the first part of a little story. And I think I may have told it here before, but it's a good story and it's very relevant to these times. So when I was in first grade, I went to a performing arts magnet school. So kids from all over the city of Peoria, Illinois, where I lived, would come to this school, and so would the kids from the neighborhood that the school was in. And we had classes in dance and classes in music. I started learning how to play the violin. It was very exciting. And I loved going to school, as you may be unsurprised to learn. And I loved doing all of the different arts. When I was in first grade, our dance recital one semester was going to be themed on the Wizard of Oz. And I loved the Wizard of Oz. And the first graders were being different colors of the rainbow. And I was going to be purple. And I loved purple. And I got to wear a purple tutu, and I was very excited. Well, one day, not so long before my dance recital, I started feeling sick to my stomach. And as I kept getting sicker, my mom said, "Uh-oh, I think you have the 24-hour stomach flu. But don't worry, you'll feel better soon." And so I waited 24 hours, and after 24 hours was up, I decided that I was better, and I went back to school. And pretty soon it became clear that I was not better, and I had to have my mom come pick me up. And she said, "I'm so sorry. I thought you had the 24-hour flu, but you'll get better soon. Don't worry." So I decided I would wait a little longer. And I waited and, watched some movies and waited. And then after it had been a little bit of time, I decided I was probably better. And so I ate some breakfast. Seemed like it went okay. I went back to school because the dance recital was coming right up and I had to get back to school. Well, as it turns out, as I sat there in my desk, willing myself to feel okay and not be sick, it didn't work. I had to get sent home from school again. And this time the teacher told my mom, "Do not send her back to school until she's really well and has been well for 24 hours. So I went home. And I knew that I had to stop trying to pretend to be well because it wasn't working. And it got my mom in trouble. And I was really sad. And I think it may be that many people might relate to that feeling at this time right now. There's a lot of things that we wish were different. We wish we did not have to do our holidays this winter in a pandemic. We wish we didn't have to do school or church or anything in a pandemic. I know that so many days I wake up and I want to be just like I was in first grade and pretend everything is okay and just make it all go away. And I also know that that's not going to work. There's a lot that we're holding that we may need to just feel sad about. Sometimes you got to go home and lay down on the couch and put on your favorite movie and feel sad. And it's not just the pandemic that weighs on us. We have loved ones who we have lost, who are ill, who we are losing. We have climate change threatening our whole planet. We honored Transgender Day of Remembrance on Friday, and so many beautiful lives lost. And as we come upon Thanksgiving, we grieve not only the lack of togetherness that so many experience, but also the legacy of harm the pandemics caused by the people who came from Europe, and so much life lost then too. It's a lot to hold. And that is not the end of the story, and it's not the end of my story about first grade either, but it is an important step. And so we'll take a moment now to have some time to hold what is hard before we move on to the next part of the story.
So, as Annie has said, there are many things that are hard right now. And I want to encourage you, if you have a stone, to hold it right now, recognizing that its hardness is indicative perhaps of the hardness of what we are experiencing. In the Jewish tradition, you may know that we visit the graves of our loved ones and place stones on top of their headstone to remind ourselves that we are present with them and that we experience their loss and that they are not forgotten. As you hold this stone, it may serve as a reminder of all that we experience right now, our hurts, our burdens, our sadness, perhaps even our anger. And as you hold that stone, or if you do not have a stone, as you pause and think about what is difficult, I hope that you will be taken into reflection with Allie Halpert's song that Annie and I both love so much, Loosen. Let this be a time for our silent reflection and for getting in touch with the burdens that we carry with us.
Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. You ease, go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go.
You do not have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. We do believe that you can let go. And so we've come to the part of our service where we do share our joys and our sorrows, laying down those stone burdens so that they may be a little lighter when held by community, and sharing the joys and gratitudes so that others may partake in the joy too. Marge Heckman will lead us in joys and sorrows.
Good morning. My name is Marge Heckman, and I'm a member of the lay pastoral visitors at First Parish. And at this time in the service, we invite anyone to light a virtual candle of a joy or concern. You can do that by either raising your virtual hand or writing in the chat, and we will try and grab those. I would light one final virtual candle for all those joys and concerns that we keep in our heart.
So I did not make that dance recital that year. And there was no way to make it the same. But my parents had a big old camcorder, you know, those big ones with the VHS. My dad and all his siblings had gone in together to buy one in the 80s to record things like me and my cousins. And we had ended up with it. And so my parents decided that on the evening of my dance recital, I would put on my costume, and they would play the music, and they would record me on the video camera, and we'd have a concert anyway. Anybody who's ever performed in a group for a live audience knows that performing alone at home for a video camera is nothing like being in the group with the audience. But it was still something. And that, of course, is the next piece of healing. After we accept what is true and stop fighting it, take some time to rest, be sad, be angry, then it's time to figure out what we can do and figure out how to dance anyway. It won't be the same, but it will be something. And that cycle repeats over and over. It's not a one-time thing. It was one instance for me with the dance recital, but as anyone who's grieved knows, you loop through over and over. Okay, this is awful. Okay, there's still life and joy and things to do. Okay, this is still awful. Okay, there's still connection and beauty and wonder in this world. We loop around and around this pandemic and in this life. But there are many ways to dance anyway. And one of the things that keeps me going is being so impressed and amazed at human beings and the creative ways we figure out connection and beauty. One of the places I have been most impressed with that has been with our music staff here at the congregation. Brad Connor and Janet Welby have persisted in cultivating community and creating music for our worship services, despite how unsafe it is to gather and sing the way we would love to. And so I'm very excited for Janet to introduce for us this morning a Kids Sing video that is not the same as if we were in person singing together, but it is a beautiful thing.
Hello, everyone. This is Janet. I forgot to unmute myself. So, well, good morning, everyone. Who remembers the times that the youth and I would teach you a song during the service and you would join us in the song, sometimes in 2 or 3 parts. You can raise your hand, you can put up a thumb, you can write, you can do a clapping, a silent clapping. Well, we can do that again. We can do it today. And first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the song, just like we used to do. And then when we play the video, you're going to be able to sing along with Kids Sing. So are you ready to sing? And I know it's not the same as if you were all together, but don't worry, our collective voices will be heard in the cosmos. There's someone out there listening, okay? So you're going to repeat after me. Let us sing together. Let us sing together. One and all a joyous song. Let's try all that together. Let us sing together. Let us sing together. One and all a joyous song. I didn't know I was going to play the piano. I just decided to do that. The next part goes like this. Let us sing together. One and all a joyous song. And all together. Let us sing together, one and all a joyous song. And there's one more part. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. One and all a joyous song. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. One and all a joyous song. Now, instead of us all singing the whole thing, we're going to listen to the video. Kids Sing will sing it first, so you can enjoy their singing and their tambourine playing. And then when they sing it again, you're all going to join them. And then you're going to be able to sing it in parts if you want, and you can choose part 1, part 2, or part 3, and the video will show you when. All right, so let's enjoy.
Let us sing together, let us sing together, one and all a joyous song. Let us sing together, one and all a joyous song. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing together, let us sing together, one and all a joyous song. Let us sing together, one and all a joyous song. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again. Let us sing again and again.
We've got a reading coming up here. And I first have to apologize to you because just a moment ago, Maria delivered to me some hot tortillas, and you know it would be rude were I not to sample those while they're warm. The kids were just great. Thank you so much for that, Janet. We're going to go back and resume talking about stones. And this is a reading that was written by a Unitarian Universalist colleague, Robbie Walsh. And Robbie died a few years ago, but he was an exceptional writer. He and I were together at the Harvard Divinity School. Robbie was the most panicky student I ever knew, and he accumulated more incompletes than anybody I knew, but he managed somehow to graduate nonetheless. And he wrote a book of meditations that is titled Noisy Stones. This particular piece is titled, These Stones Do Not Lack Interest. And so bear in mind the stones you may have with you. These stones do not lack interest, even though their passive presence on the dresser top awaits initiative from me. They go for weeks without the least attention. These stones have pleasing rounded shapes. Their quiet colors, uniform or varied. Some have faded stripes or circles. Some are spotted. Some are intersected by contrasting seams of other kinds of rock. One white stone has a cross of black, and one looks like a cream cheese sandwich. These stones have got integrity. They rest in dryness of the air, on smoothness of the wood, in incandescent light, presenting grainy surfaces that are exactly what they seem to be. The stones I picked up were not like this. Motions of the tides had brought them to the great margin of earth and sea and sky. The stones I chose from all the others showed me surfaces that shone with cold fire. I was the passive one. Each one of these commanded me to pause. The colors came as if from deep within the shining yellows, glowing ochres, whites as pure as any pearl, the rings like bands of Jupiter, the blacks as black as space between the stars. And now they rest in isolation, dusty, far removed from forces that gave them their form. I have interrupted for a while their evolution toward becoming sand grains. But I remember when I plucked them from the great margin, I remember seeing them in moving, noisy, bright, abrasive wetness. How they shone. That's it.
Thank you, John. Friends, I invite you now to pick up your stone that you have. And if you have a virtual stone, maybe you have drawn a shape on a piece of paper, and that is fine. And to hold it now and to think about the burdens that we have laid down, which can also become for us sources of strength. And they can become gifts that we give to one another. Now, a few weeks ago, our second, third, and fourth grade group worked with an artist and illustrator and teacher named Suzanne Cook, a Unitarian Universalist who lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And they talked about stones and the way that stones can be decorated to become gifts that we give to one another. Because sometimes someone comes into our life or we know someone who needs an unexpected gift, a piece of encouragement. And this rock that was formed over so many generations can be such a gift. And so you may have driven past places where you'll see a sign that says, "Don't give up." My invitation to you is to pick up the markers that you have and to think about what the message is that you might write on this stone. Maybe a message for someone else, maybe someone you haven't yet met, or maybe it's a message to you. And what is the message right now that will help support healing and provide strength at this time? And while we do that, we're going to listen to the great Alicia Keys as she shares her song, Underdog. May it inspire you and all of us. We will survive. That is my stone for today. For those of you who decorated a stone, can you hold it up to your camera? Beautiful. Keep it close, friends. Someone will need it at some point. Maybe you, maybe someone else. These stones do not lack interest. John Gibbons, over to you.
My job is to introduce the offering, and you pretty well know what this is about, but there is one thing I'd like to say, and that is something that was once said by Samuel Johnson. And Samuel Johnson said, "The future is purchased by the present." We are here in this multi-generational community. We have been here for approaching 300 years. And yet, if there is a truth of this time, there is no assurance that this particular religious community will be here for another 300 years, or for another 5 years, or for another 100 years. Its future significantly depends upon what we do now, what people tomorrow do then, and what people the day after that do. The future is purchased by the present. And so our offering is an opportunity for us to invest in the values of this community, that these progressive, humane, compassionate values will persist and will be a presence in our lives and in the lives of our children and grandchildren, and be here tomorrow, and we trust for a long time thereafter. And so, you know the drill. Look at the slide that shows how to donate electronically. And I should tell you folks that a number of you have been very good about, responding to donating electronically, but this is still a little unfamiliar to some people. And so if you haven't given it a shot, try it. And if you don't quite get it while we're here this morning, go to our webpage at uubedford.org, and there are similar instructions there. But this is a way for us to say that we believe in the present and we believe in the future. And so our morning offering will now gratefully be received.
There's a river somewhere that flows through the lives of everyone, and it flows through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. There's a star in the sky that brightens the lives of everyone. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. 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 Yes, I do. There's a star in your eye that brightens the lives of everyone, and it brightens the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it is a sweet song of love that sweetens the lives of everyone. It sweetens the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, yes, it do. And there's a voice from the past that speaks through the lives of everyone, the lives of everyone. And it speaks through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. There's a smile in your eyes that shines through the lives of everyone, and it shines through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Oh, yes, it do. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, 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 there's a river somewhere. Yes, there's a flows through the light. Yes, there's a river somewhere that flows through the light, and it flows through the mountains and the valleys and the meadows of time. Yes, it flows.
We'll now have Sylvie Denny Brown to share our closing words.
Walk together, children, don't you get
We cannot heal by pretending everything is okay. We cannot heal by saying it will be fine. We can only heal by stopping to rest. We can only heal. We can only heal by feeling our sadness and anger. We can only heal by accepting what is true. We can heal by finding a new way forward. We can heal by dancing anyway. We can heal by singing anyway. We can heal with creativity. We can heal by not giving up. and we can heal by loving ourselves and loving each other.
Thank you so much. And we will close out with another fantastic example of singing anyway, making music anyway with We Laugh, We Cry by our First Parish musicians.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that sharing is an answer. A child is born among us and we feel a special glow. We see time's endless journey as we watch the baby grow. We thrill to hear imagination freely running wild. We dedicate our minds and hearts to the spirit of this child. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a time to be together. And with the grace of age, we share the wonder of youth. And we believe that growing is an answer. Our lives are full of wonder and our time is very brief. The death of one among us fills us all with pain and grief. But as we live, so shall we die, and when our lives are done, the memories we shared with friends will linger on and on. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see even to question truly is an answer.
Thank you so, so much to everyone who made this service possible, all the kids and youth who participated in Kids Sing and as readers, the musical staff keeping us going, all those musicians, all the tech people. It's truly an amazing endeavor. And it's wonderful to be together in this way, even though we wish it were different. So we can maybe put up our thank you slide if we have it, and move into our community hour. Yes, our thank you slide.
And as we're doing that, I want to also say happy birthday to Kay, who has a birthday imminently. And I see that she's with us today. So Kay, thank you, and happy birthday to you, and Sho, and Lila, and Sylvie, and Mina, and everybody that helped to make today's worship service happen. We appreciate you.